can't be right. What in the world are you doing? All this talk about the North Shore, I just wanted to know, how much it would cost to live on the North Shore. So I'm just doing some calculations here. It just doesn't make any sense. Really? You're looking to buy a place? You think I'm made out of money? No. A condo, you need at least $1 million. And a house, you need at least $1.5 million. Well, okay, let's just say that you have the average household median income of around $86,000, which is actually deducted to about $62,000, which roughly monthly would be around $5,188 after tax. Well, what's your analysis then? The cost of living on the North Shore just doesn't make any sense. Like, rent is around $2,600 to $2,850. That even depends if you're wanting to rent from a condo or from a house. And that eats half my bloody budget. Well, let's just assume your rental agreement covers the cost. We talk about groceries, they're about $700, and that's being reasonable for one person. Utilities will get me around $100 to $150. And say I want a plan for using the internet, let's say I go for a cheap option, something around $70. And don't even get you started on transportation? Exactly! My car payments are around $1,000 monthly, and that doesn't take into effect, gas, rising gas prices by the way, maintenance for the car, anything that happens to the car. Also, your traffic here sucks. So I tried busing, but even bus prices have gone up to a monthly pass is now $157. And this excludes the fact that I even budget for entertainment, for hobbies, for other small things that I want to maybe do, other than just trying to get by living. And also, let's just add, household income is assuming for 2 individuals or 2 adults in one household. An individual living on the North Shore, let's say they have the average salary, which is I think $30 in North Vancouver, that still only comes up to about $4,100 monthly. So why? Why is it so expensive to live on the North Shore, and why does it feel like it's pricing me out? Rising housing prices, rising rental prices, rising prices when it comes to transit passes, rising prices when it comes to food and to gas. The cost of living on the North Shore will continue to increase until someone, hopefully our municipal council, does something about it. We need policies that look to help those that have grown up here and want to continue to live here, to help those that want to work to and from the North Shore. And we should also have policies that look to help those that have grown up and also want their kids to grow up on the North Shore. We, as municipal government, can look to influence in our own small ways to help our community, this North Shore community, to make the cost of living just a little bit easier. Policies include streamlining our inclusionary housing policy so that it is streamlined to what BC Housing defines as rentable affordable. What does that mean? That means that for pricing for new secured rental developments, that means for new secured market rental developments, I would push to adopt that units be sold at 30% below market rate, which is defined by the Canadian Mortgage and Housing Corporation. And that for new stratified developments, I would push and adopt for at least at minimum 10% of new strata units sold at, quote, rented at deep discounts or supportive housing levels or equivalent cash in lieu. And as we continue to build the housing supply, I would like to push and adopt that some of these units be secured for our workforce. It is time to create a detailed workforce housing policy that keeps those people from our blue-collar workers, from those in healthcare and childcare, to those in public service, local. To the business owners who have trouble convincing young workers to come to and from the North Shore, and to those that are using transit daily, I recognize the rising prices in transit fees. I'd like to take the following steps that Councillor Sean Orr did from the City of Vancouver, and I would like to advocate and push for a $25 low-income transit pass. And I think it's time that council cannot deny the reality that is rising food prices and rising grocery prices that we on the North Shore and all across BC face. I think it's time that we push for the viability and implementation of a city-owned, city-ran public grocery store. I also understand that these policies that I'm suggesting are not some form of cure-all, but what these are the first steps to decreasing cost of living and increasing affordability for residents of the North Shore. I remember reading a quote. It's a commentary on city livability, city affordability, and wealth inequality. If you live within 15 minutes of a coffee shop, but the barista can't afford to live within half an hour, you don't live in a city, you live in a theme park. The city's mission statement is as follows. It's a community based on vibrancy, diversity, and livability, balancing our social and economic environmental needs. It's a welcoming city, an inspiring city, a city for all ages to work, live, and play. I think it's time for our policies to reflect that.